Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. It's Ashleigh here, and today I'm going to show you guys how I transformed this beautifully detailed 9-drawer dresser. Now I'm going to be showing you in this video how to do this with using a sand deglosser and not actually sanding, stripping, or even using a high bond primer for this piece. So let's get started. Okay, so now the first thing I'm going to do, of course, is wash down the piece with soap and water. I'm also going to be spraying this piece with a soap, water, and alcohol mix. Now, I do this because, cross your fingers that this isn't the case, but if there's any bed bug eggs or fleas or anything like that, it will kill them. So I make sure that I saturate the whole entire piece with that. Again, before I even pick up these pieces, I do make sure that I thoroughly examine them, making sure that there's nothing nasty in them and stuff like that. But you never know. So there again, I spray the piece with that soap and alcohol mix. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to help this piece dry by using my blower. I absolutely love to use this blower and watch the water just fly off the piece. This is not, you don't have to do this, but I just like to do it because it kind of helps to dry off the piece faster. Normally I would have removed the hardware before now, but I didn't. So now I'm just going to remove all the hardware. Alright, so now that everything is nice and clean, I'm going to start to spray on my deglosser. So the deglosser that I am using is this deglosser from Jasco, and it's just an easy liquid sand deglosser. So I just spray it on, let it sit a little bit, and then I just start to go in circular motions to remove the finish. So I have to note that stripping a piece or even deglossing it is not my favorite. I really just like to just spray on a high bond primer and go. But sometimes if I want to just really do a heavy distress, or I just want to distress a piece a little bit, sometimes it's just easier to do it this way because you'll be able to see the natural wood. Because if you do a high bond primer and you start to distress the piece, you'll end up seeing just a little bit of that primer, and it's just going to take you just a little bit longer to distress the piece, making sure you just see the wood and that you don't see any of the primer underneath. So if I have a very detailed piece like this one and I'm using my sand deglosser, I love to use a hard bristled toothbrush to get into the corners and all those hard to reach crevices to make sure that I'm getting all of my finish off. So just to remove this residue that you see here, I'm just going to take my spray bottle and I'm going to spray it with water and take the paper towel and wipe it down. Then I'm just going to take a harder just scrub brush and scrub over it just to make sure the surface is really smooth for painting. Now we're going to be using Hazelnut by Waverly, and I'm going to add it to this mason jar here, and we are going to be spraying the paint on with a paint sprayer. Now normally when you do this, you want to use a strainer to strain your paint before you add it into your mason jar, but I'm not going to do that since it's a newly opened paint and it's not an older paint. Although you still kind of want to use your strainer, I'm not going to do that. It's going to be totally fine. Then I'm just going to be adding some water to get it to the consistency of where if you put your ruler in there and you check it that it runs off about 15 to 30 seconds. Now the sprayer that I'm going to be using is the Critter sprayer. I absolutely love this sprayer, and I've had several people on my Instagram ask me to do a review on it, so I'm going to try to do a review on it. for you guys because I absolutely love this critter sprayer. And I will have this linked down below if you are interested in it. Now we're going to start to spray on our paint. Now we're going to be using Cashew by Waverly, and I'm going to be going between these two smaller brushes here, and I'm going to start to add that to the inner portions of the detailing. So now I'm going to use my ruler here, and I'm just going to measure out where I need to measure my sides off at, and then I'm going to use the jigsaw and I'm going to cut off the excess wood. So now that I've cut off all the excess wood, I'm just going to take my sander here and I'm going to sand the edges smooth and round off the sides. Now I'm going to take my dark walnut stain and I'm going to begin to stain the top. Last step to this whole entire process is, of course, cleaning our hardware. So the mix that I normally use and what I'm using now is vinegar, soap, water, a squeeze of lemon, and just a little bit of Coke. Now, I don't do this all the time. Sometimes I don't add the Coke, but either way, you're just going to leave your hardware in there for about 30 minutes to an hour, however long. You can leave it in even longer if you would like. And then you're just going to take a hard scrubby and you're just going to scrub out the hardware and it will come nice and clean. Are all finished, guys. Here is the finished product. I absolutely love it. It just screams to me toffee and cream. I just really think of coffee for some strange reason when I look at this piece. The gold hardware absolutely makes this piece pop. The dark walnut stain on the top is sealed with a polyurethane and the bottom is sealed with wax, and it has been buffed out really well. I just love this piece, and let's just say that these colors really match with the fall to a T, which is perfect because I have my little fall series going on for you guys, and I think this might just be one of my favorites. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you give it a big thumbs up. Make sure you are subscribed to my channel and that you click on that notification bell so you'll always be up to date with my latest tutorials. And I will see you guys in my next one. Bye, guys.